Family, welcome to Carolliving
in collaboration with Hallmarks Consulting Limited.
Take it away, take it away. Yes, I'm so glad to host this young lady. We're still having our conversations. Thank you so much for accepting to constantly come and have a same conversation over and have lots of ads on, even as we listen from different views.
Yeah.
I remember the last time we've so far had like a number of talks with Ramla. Hi Ramla, wherever you are, with Richard, with Chiinji, and we've been still talking about the same topic: purpose partnerships at work, at in your personal life, if it's a relational space, or even with your family or social spaces where you serve. And I remember everybody has given us really like hints of like it should be in line with your goals and seek with in alignment with the things you value, your values. We have spoken, we've poured out our authentic selves in line with your authenticity. Yeah. We've also understood that sometimes it's just good to be humble, to have humility, and to allow, as always, to allow God to use you in the spaces that He has given you to now.
Yeah.
I was telling her that we have spoken so much about purpose partnerships. I feel like we have emptied, but purpose partnership is an evolving conversation. It's growing. It's growing. And I just say that as we even debate, many people have come up to me and still talk about the same thing. Now, what we need to ask, I want to ask you, whereas we highlighted that you have to stay focused, you have to stay within your goals, you encourage yourself, and we said that you just told me recently that when you're down, you have your personal way you deal with, and I'm like, let's share parts of our vulnerabilities. How would you deal? I'll also share with how I deal with stuff. People say you show up strong, but I'll also share that. Let's share that. How do you deal when you're feeling low and you feel like, oh my God, I'm pursuing my path, but I just feel like it's not moving the way I want. It's not moving in the speed, in the energy. How do you feel? How would you deal?
What I normally do, people are in my space know that I love taking photos, so I do have, since I love taking photos, I do have many of them in my gallery. So when I feel low, when I feel down, I get up my phone, go to my gallery, start swiping through, scrolling, as I think of captions to put on my photos, and I'm like, wow, look at this beautiful girl. Why should I even stress? And I'm like, anyway, because at the end of it all,
Yes.
So my photos really help me to pick up from there. I just scroll through, look at myself in my gallery, and I'm like, wow, such a beautiful girl. You're even stressing, why all the stress and all that? So it kind of gives me that comfort that
and who said self-affirmation doesn't work? This is an exemplification of affirming yourself and telling yourself, I just think that God calls us many things, and if you remember what God calls you, even if they just remember what has God called you, I think, plus this pictorial of yours. I know you're a good girl. She's such a worshiper. I am a church doing women convention, but with all the activity, I know it edifies your spirit. I'm like, I don't know how we do life without God, but God is a big anchor for most of us. Yeah. For me, it's very simple. I borrow from my parents' words in encouraging me. When you feel stressed or feel down or beaten, first do the basics. So for me, basics as you're eating healthy, you're having enough rest, you're taking care of yourself. I told one time recently, basically a friend of mine, they know themselves, they come back and say, you're glowing, and you have to come and say, who is like making you happy? I'm like, I was flattered by her pronouncement. I know she was joking, but the notion that someone has to make you happy is what I'd say to address. The notion that there is someone somewhere whom God has sent you to make you happy. That I think we have within our disposal the skill set to take care of yourself, so that you take care of the inner man. I think that it shows up on the outside. For me, I have, and then also I'm in a place of responsibility. I'm a mom. I'm a big sister. I don't get to just be beaten, like I know it's not like when I'm sleeping and I'm beaten when I cry, and then I embrace vulnerability. When I'm feeling low and I need to cry, guys, I cry my tears. True. I cry my pain. I leave it. Then I get off of it. Like some of us, they say that tears wash the what? Tears wash the soul. Tears they wash the soul. They clean the soul. So true. I cannot, much as you may say this strong, when it's crying time, I always say, and I don't know, the more I'm growing, the more it's easy for me to cry. Either I've just allowed myself the permission, like if I'm feeling low, a tear will drop there. Like I'm just expressing, then I shall get over it. So I do that. I embrace hugs. In this family we hug a lot. My kids know it. We hug a lot, we cuddle a lot, we just be in the blankets and eat popcorn and feel great.
Wow,
so
I love popcorn. I love popcorn. My God, I'm a popcorn lover.
Yes, and kids they encourage you, like, oh, Mama, are you sick? And then they just come and give you a hug. My daughter, she's one of the most affirming human being. I'm just proud to be her. She comes and says, Mom, you're a very beautiful queen. You're a very beautiful queen. So like I tell her, you know what, you're also a beautiful princess. Like it can come from nowhere and you're like, oh my God, these babies are so beautiful, and they are sent by God to be angels in our lives. Yeah, so I have a method, but I insist that method should be something that is within your control. It's not up to someone else to make you happy.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we go wrong, relying on our happiness, putting it in someone else's control.
Yes.
What if they leave? What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, because that's the question I always ask myself. You know, you get so close to someone.
Yes.
You know, it's like there's forever and all that. Before you know it, the person has left, and you're like, okay, what next? What am I gonna do without this person? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because maybe the other thing that I didn't talk about at work, when I'm feeling low or a bit attacked.
Yes.
I normally focus on my work a lot.
Yes, like
so I work beyond capacity. Yeah, and sometimes I get earphones, put in some worship music. You know, listen to worship, praise, and it kind of calms my soul. Before I know it, I'm like, oh my God, like I just exclaim out saying, oh God, and I literally feel better. But one thing I've learned is not to park or put my happiness in someone else's hands, because it's very dangerous. It's a dangerous place to live in, because they literally control your life, and it can stop anytime, any minute, and you have no control over that. So I create my own happiness. I create things. I do literally things that make me happy, and I try to make sure that everyone who is in my space gets to know the kind of things I love doing, I enjoy doing, and you know, I make sure they do not cross that boundary, and I show them that yes, as much as I need you in my life, I'm not giving you control of my happiness, because anytime you may disappear, and I'm gonna be left hanging. So.
Oh my God, I need to get that lecture. You haven't given me that lecture yet. And I'm right here.
Wow.
Yeah, but when you talk about listening to music, I am such a big lover. I was in choir for so long, so listening to music for me, anyway, listening and singing for me, I sing along it. It's when I'm walking, I am at work. It helps to just block out every negative energy and just inject new positivity. I listen to music a lot personally as well. But I was just thinking when I was thinking, I said, it is dangerous, like putting. And I want us to exemplify that it's not about when you say I don't put my happiness in someone's hands. It could be misunderstood as I don't depend on people. So how do you clarify the difference? Like, because you know, I know that we are relational human beings. We depend on each other. My sisters know I really bombard them with my stuff. When I feel like talking, I'm like, you guys, I need to vent. I need to vent, like I need some people adult conversation time. So I depend on you for this support. So I let them know that if you get some time, please, I'd love to talk. They do the same to me, man. My little sister, I'm like, do you have time? It's venting season, it's venting time. And I'm like, you know what, just give me like maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, and then I'll call you back. So I depend on people that are in my space of dependency like that. I depend on them, and I let them know they're important, and I depend on them. But not to the level of like, I can't self-soothe. So you have to self-soothe. You know, like how you would leave a child for you not have babies. For us, that's why babies. Mother. When you have like babies within you, like sometimes they're just so needy. Every time they cry, you carry them up. Every time they cry, they will never learn how to self-soothe. And this is a skill for life. So in the same spirit, I say we have to learn to self-soothe. We have to be able to say life has beaten me. But I'm like, I'll cry, but I'll walk and I be better. I'll hurt myself on my leg. Like like an analogy, but I will wake up and walk. And even if I cry, I'll wake up and walk. I think for me, I believe we have the ability to self-soothe. So I'm big on that, but I also take care of my skin. I'm good. I can really take care of my skin. I have things I smear on it. One day I'm going to share the self-care routines. I have learned natural ways of taking care of my skin, masks. I'm like, you know what? I wake up in the morning, just put the mask. By the time I am out doing some tea, it's already 15 minutes. The mask is due for removal. I remove it.
I'm a lazy person.
So I take care of my skin, and when I'm looking great,
I just love sleeping. So I'm like, okay, 15 minutes. I would rather sleep than sitting there putting these. Yeah, I love sleeping. So it's one of the things. By the way, when I'm feeling low, I just go to bed, cover myself, and sleep.
Yes.
Like literally sleep. Yeah. So
you self-soothe when you sleep. Sleep also heals.
Yeah.
I'm not a big time sleeper. I purport to like to sleep, but I don't think so. Honestly, I am a busybody. Yeah. Do you have any questions? I have been bombarding for you with questions now. Today I'm giving Yvonne an opportunity to ask me back. Anything, go.
So, of late, people are facing challenges of juggling between work, family, and their personal private life. Because yes, once you are part of a family, you have a family to take care of, it doesn't mean that your life has to stop. You must have your personal life and personal space. But I realize that some people out there are really finding it hard to juggle between work, marriage, family, and their personal space. But I see you out there, the way you carry yourself, so strong, so determined, and I'm smitten. I'm like, wow, courage, just work, children, this and that. I'm like, wow, I need to know how she really juggles among the things, and she still presents herself out there as someone strong, someone resilient and all that. So I just want to know how you really hack that.
I want to say I have a great foundation. I was raised by very hardworking parents. I saw them juggle. They exemplified juggling. So I always be like, I always tell my sisters, my mom juggled with much less. She didn't have the money, we have the jobs. She had 8 kids, 7 babies. We only have 2, 3. So my uncle or my besters from where have I learned juggling from my mama. Like I saw her juggle through so much, a lot. Even challenges, just being a mother, a relational partner to somebody, with all the problems and challenges life brings. So I feel like my anchor in just being taught from an early age. I remember I sold cassava with my mom one time. She used to have a snacks business. I was like, you know what, today we're going to I was like, maybe in P6, okay? So we would take snacks to some scholars and like break hours. And I remember she would take me. Back then, it just seemed like, an act of like, let me go hang out with my mom and I also sell stuff. Let me sell these pancakes. But I realized it was a foundation to you can do anything to survive. You can apply yourself and work hard at anything and make it. So how do I juggle? I feel defeated sometimes. It's a growth experience. When I remember when I got family very early, I was like, I always tell them I was like 24 and I felt like, oh Lord, now that looking back, I'm like, you hurried. But when I look at my children and they're old and they can take care of themselves, they're learning to be independent, I'm like, no, you did not hurry. It was the right time because I can't imagine my age now, the way I get tired.
Wow.
With babies, like little babies. So, whereas I appreciate those who are moms in their season now with a blessing, I appreciate that I juggled, like I learned the juggling spirit when I was younger. I would have children, I'm in school maybe for a postgrad schooling or master's. I'm at work. I am an engineer, so by nature, I feel like all engineers by nature really juggling, like learning how to apply yourself and getting solutions. Our work demands our let me say our career life. It even as we are studying, it's solution oriented. It's like you have a problem, you get solutions. So for me, I'm like, we have this problem, what's the solution? We have this problem. I am taking cooking takes forever. How can I make it shorter?
Wow.
You get me? That's my babies. I remember, let me give an example, juggling uniforms. We have to wash uniforms. Wow. During the week you're washing uniforms, I say, you know what? How much does it take for me to buy uniforms that take me from Monday to Saturday? I just went, saved up and said, let me go buy the uniforms that take them from Monday to Saturday. Now Saturday, if I had time, I wash. If I don't, the ladies I could call in and say, hey, help me wash these things. So now you see now my uniform problem is done. When they are cleaned, they are ready for the whole week. Now we are sorted with that one. The socks, the same thing.
Wow.
Now when it comes to work is really, it has like, it's wavy. Sometimes we are very busy, sometimes we are not. Sometimes I am busy, sometimes I'm not. But what I've learned is, as long as my mind was well, I showed up better at work.
Wow.
And as a parent. So I take care of my mind. I stay away from toxic people. Literally, I don't stay away. I run away from them. Run. When I tell somebody says, I am with this toxic friend, and I was one. No, I run. Like, when you're negative, me, I am heading that direction. You get me? Yeah. And I'm very decisive. Okay. Even I have friendships. I say we have to have a healthy friendship. We have to engage in a healthy manner. Yeah. I can't be with those pretend persons. Let me just know. Either we have a good relationship that is healthy, or we are acquaintances, which is also a form of.
Very important.
Yeah, so I don't.
Mental health is really, we cannot underrate it. It's very important.
Yeah.
Whenever someone is in a perfect mental health, they will always show up better people and all that. And maybe the other thing that I want to let people know is that put God in everything that you're going to do. Trust me. With God, you can never fail in any area of your life. You feel beaten, you feel what? Run to God. The problem we have, we remember running to God after we've been hit. We do not consult Him before we engage in whatever we are supposed to engage in. That is something I've learned from my pastor. He's like, consult God before you even go into that relationship, before you go for that career. Have you spoken to God? Is God telling you, yes, you can have a job with a very high pay, but is the working environment good for your mental health?
Yes.
So he was really encouraging us, teaching us that in everything you're going to do, it has, because it's like life is spiritual before it becomes physical. So sometimes we try to ignore that, but life is always spiritual. Everything we do manifests in the spirit. So if you first do it in the spirit, trust me, you will not be beaten in the physical.
Hallelujah. Can I add to that pastoral encouragement? I cannot add to it. However, as we end this session, thank you so much for the conversation. It's sizzling, it's hot, it's amazing. We're going to continue bringing all you guys here to tell us about how you're relating purposefully. But what I can say, even as we're going to go to another segment, is you have to be purpose means being intentional. Exactly. You wake up to have to purpose a good outcome. Exactly. Like you wake up to plan for, believe for, and purpose a good outcome. True. How we all supported, I believe that they are mechanics. I think I was telling her one time, she was saying, Carol, how do you learn how to present yourself? How do you learn how to speak? I'm like, I am such a consumer of great speakers. Like I listen to great speakers over and over. It's when I'm driving away in a car, I have speakers listening to Faith Evans saying something. I'm listening to Oprah talking about something. I'm listening to Michelle Obama saying something. I'm listening to an orator on CNN saying something. I'm listening to some believer, a worship pastor saying something. So the more I am listening to all these things, but notice I am very intentional in whom I'm listening to. Because there's so many also naysayers saying many things.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not listening to the conversation around that things that I don't think edify me. Like there's a conversation about the rainbows, whereas I appreciate their existence. I am not listening to that conversation because I feel, whereas it's a controversial issue, like I don't have a contribution. So I'm not listening to those conversations. And sometimes our terrains, I'll not say many things, our political terrain, I don't listen to news that is not worth keeping.
Exactly. So I'm here. Kara's talked about being intentional, so I just want to attract people who are intentional in my life. Like I need people who are going to love me recklessly. So if you're out there, you fall in that space, please come.
She needs some reckless abandon. She wants to abandon herself in basking that.
Exactly. So just come join the Carolliving family. Let's love on each other. Let's grow together.
Thank you so much. Keep it at Carolliving.